Well, hello there, Talk Commerce listeners. It's not Brent. It is not Mr. Peterson. It is Scotty Yo from Always Off Brand. And we're happy you're here because you're about to hear an actually enlightening, fantastic, super smart, deep conversation. God, it's just so good with Brian Lange from Future Commerce. Who wouldn't want to see that? Who wouldn't want to hear that? It's fantastic. Instead of listening to me and my jibber jabber, let's turn it right over. Brian Lange, recorded live at Shoptoberfest in New York City, brought to you by Shopware Fresh. Brent, take it away.
Welcome to Shoptoberfest, it's time to play. Sponsored by Shopware every single day. With Brian Lange and Future Commerce at the helm. Where culture meets transactions in this vibrant realm. Get ready to learn, have some fun, and have some fun. At Shoptoberfest, the decade, the none. From AI to new trends galore, join us now, can't wait for more.
Welcome, everybody, to the collab here from Shoptoberfest, brought to you by
Shopware.
Fresh. You were a little late on the fresh that time.
I know.
Brent Peterson, ladies and gentlemen, Talk Commerce Extraordinaire. I'm Scott Oshman with Always Off Brand, and we are joined by, honestly, all of ours, past, present, and future. Brian Lange from Future Commerce.
We love
What's
Brian.
up, guys?
God,
Happy to be here.
damn it, Brian.
You got me. You got
Yes,
me.
thank you. Jeez, we've been literally waiting here 8 hours. We've been waiting here 8 hours for Brian to come on the podcast.
This is podcast number 17 of the night.
This is the After Dark episode.
It is the After Dark.
After dark.
Brian, we had Philip on earlier. He said nothing. But no, he really...
Lies.
You were a featured speaker at the Shoptoberfest.
True. It's because we released a new report.
He talked about a report, RFB.
The Honest Truth, yes.
The Honest Truth, which I love the title, by the way. Shout out you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's so kind of you.
We already went through that.
You already talked about RFPs. What do you really want to talk about then?
I want to talk podcasting with you.
Well, I mean, I'm here. I can talk podcasting with me all day long.
Okay, let's run down the different... You are basically, I believe, and maybe this is fair or not fair, accurate, don't let accuracy get in the way of a good story.
Myths, baby.
Myths. You guys are really, to me, in our world, in the e-com world, you're a media company in the e-com space. Is that fair?
We are a media company in the e-com space. Actually, hold on. We're a media company in the commerce space.
Yes, not just e-commerce.
Correct.
You guys are in commerce. You cover everything, retail, all that.
All of it.
All that and a
And then some,
bag of
really,
chips.
honestly. Yeah, no, truly, we go farther. Anything tangential in any possible way. Anything that's remotely connected to commerce, we will cover. And actually, it's actually probably good because there's a lot of things that people don't realize are connected to commerce that actually are.
No, I know. So what I was going to ask, Brent, did you have a question?
No, I'm listening. This is good. This is
Is
all
it?
good, really stuff. Yeah, keep going.
What the hell is Future Commerce, and what does it include? Like, I went to your website. You have a great little website. Not
Thank you.
little. It's a great
It's
website.
big
Period.
website,
It's not little. That was.
We do have
that was harsh.
we have a great little website. It's true.
No, but I'm saying you have different things you can choose. You have content. You have podcasts. There's a lot going on there. Can you break it down, Brian?
Sure, yeah. So Future Commerce is a media company focused on the intersection of culture and commerce. And I think this is really important because at Future Commerce, we are biased very, very clearly. We are somewhere between analysts and industry media and edutainment. But the point is we really have a point of view. And that point of view informs how we think about what's happening in the industry. And that point of view is that commerce really is a person-to-person connection point.
Yeah.
Commerce is identity exchange. And so if you think about it, when you buy something from me or trade something with me, when I give what I have to you, in exchange for your hard-earned money. You're giving me a portion of the life that you have built.
Oh my God, this is Jesus. This is serious, Brian.
I know, a little more than you expected for the
I've
After
given
Dark.
you a pound of my flesh.
In many ways, yes. You've given me a portion of your time, your emotions, your investment as a person. And I am giving you something that I have invested in as a person, and you're taking it on as your own. And so commerce is identity exchange. And so...
Brent, 17 beers in, how does that...
No, I'm with Brian, and I appreciate the fact that he's come in with, I wouldn't say a hard sell. I mean, I wouldn't say a sell
but
at
he's
all.
passionate.
I would
These
say
guys
the passion
love what
that
they
he has
do.
in terms of what he believes and what he's delivering to his client, and being an entrepreneur. So as an entrepreneur, you have to have these certain things that the client is going to want to have from you. And I appreciate that.
To be honest, I don't know if we're providing our clients with anything they actually want. The truth is, like at Future Commerce, our goal is to be as independent as a voice as possible. And so we're actually trying to like put things into words that we can feel and that we really believe and that we actually care about. And like, I think that's one of the things that sets us apart is that we really believe in this person-to-person reality of commerce. And so if we can understand how people are changing the things that they consume and enjoy, the things that they believe, their philosophies, their psychology, their art, the way the world is changing, then we can understand how commerce is changing. And so, and I believe this is true for both B2B and B2C. The B2B economy is as much the attention economy as the B2C economy is.
Yeah.
And so I really believe that people are the ones that drive these things, and people buy for a number of reasons. It could be mimesis. It's the idea that people don't even have inherent desires of their own. They actually look out at other people as models and copy other people's desires. Or it may be that they have pressures from a boss and they have to go the way that their boss is telling them to go. They could be looking at it a piece of art and just enjoy something or want to be around somebody. And so they buy from them because they want to be around them or connected to them in some way. I believe that the things that we create actually don't have value in of themselves. They actually have value due to the creator that makes them. And so there is the...
Wait,
Oh, keep going. You're
yeah,
good.
keep
You're
going.
doing
Hold on. I was getting ready for this.
No, please do. Keep going. We just got beers, by the way.
We did. Hendrick is the greatest.
I mean,
Yeah.
beers.
You believe, I believe.
No, yeah, I have to say that I appreciate the passion, and I think where you've said earlier, culture is commerce, right? Like, I think that what people believe is part of the culture in today's, what's happening right now is the intersection that you've captured that's very unique.
See, that's what I think is most fascinating about what you guys do, is you catch the celebrity, you understand the content, you understand, we talked to Philip Jackson earlier, your partner, about how you're in the moment of seeing everybody drink. You're seeing how the content, the creator, which is now the own brand, which is the celebrity / it's like, God, the freaking dominoes are falling here. But how that affects how we buy shit.
Yes, correct.
God, I couldn't get there fast enough.
Yeah, it took you a while. There's no chutzpah in what you just said.
God, I taught him 2 Yiddish words, Brian. 2. Chutzpah. What else did I teach you? Schmutz.
So,
Well,
did you ever listen
maybe 4.
to the Malcolm Gladwell podcast where he talks about chutzpah? Chutzpah. I can't say it. I'm sorry.
Chutzpah.
Yeah.
I love Malcolm. I've read his books. Brilliant guy. I like his little podcast network he used to have, or he does have now.
Yeah, I think he still does. Yeah. Was it
I don't know.
Pushkin?
Pushkin. And
Yeah.
I like
Pushkin, I've
I like
read that
Michael
one, too.
Lewis, his little shtick he's got going, the writer.
Yeah, it's a fun podcast. I listen to a lot of what is that, revisionist history. It's quite good.
Yes.
And referenced it in some of the talks that I
Do
give
you
over the
listen
years.
to your own shit, Brian?
Sometimes, man.
You guys push out so much good stuff.
We put out a lot of content, so it's really hard to get back and listen to all of it because we put out a lot. I'll be honest with you guys, since we're in the After Dark.
We
You
in
ready?
the After Dark.
We're in the After Dark.
Nobody's listening to this.
I don't actually listen to that many podcasts. I listen to a few podcasts here or there.
Always off
I'm-
brand, Talk Commerce. Two of your faves.
Always on brand is my new my new podcast.
That joke-
Always on brand.
That joke
Oh.
never
Sponsored
gets
by
old.
Shopware.
That joke never gets old, ever.
I want to go back to this whole culture meeting commerce.
I agree.
I love that.
I'm glad you're going back.
Yes, and the visions, like you guys did visions a couple of years ago.
Yes, we did. No, actually, it's not a couple years ago.
That was last week.
Was it last year?
No, it's so.
Was it-
Visions is an ongoing summit that we run. We've done
That's
it
what I meant.
for 4 years now. Is that right? No, I might be the one getting it wrong. But we actually just did one in New York at the MoMA Celeste Bartos Theater back in June, and we have one coming up here the second week of October in LA.
October 10th.
Yes, thank you. I'll be honest, this is going to be the coolest lineup of content that we've ever done. And
Phil talked about this.
yes.
This is like celeb, this is
Yeah.
big hitter,
Yeah.
hoity-toity, bougie.
It's
God
not bougie.
Damn.
It's not bougie as you think it is. Like it's very like digital forward. It's very online.
That's an interesting concept, digital forward. Because would like 20 years ago, would it be more like, would we talk about digital forward?
Well, when I started in e-commerce in 1998.
No, I'm being serious. though.
No, you're right.
Yeah. No, it's
Well,
true.
this is what I love what you guys do, because you are in the crosshairs of these massive content creators, celebrities. I don't know, whatever you call them. Depends on what your mood is or what your space is or your consumption is. But they sell shit and they need digital. They need commerce.
They do. Everyone actually needs commerce at some level. Actually, everything is commerce at some level. Every interaction has some component of transaction to it. Even gifting is a transaction,
Yeah.
right? Even in some ways, love requires transaction.
Hey now. Hey now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
After
I
dark.
do want to bring up. So I want
Yeah.
to bring up a
Do you?
point. Yes, because I'm talking now. So there are certain marketing companies that are, let's call them far front end transactional, where they don't think about e-commerce and whatever that platform is.
Yeah.
And when I was in the SI space with Magento. I had a friend who was involved in the marketing
moving your
where they were
beard.
trying to get people to, come into the funnel, but they were not interested at all in the transactional commerce. They were trying to get them into the top of the funnel.
Yeah.
And that bugged the heck out of me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because they don't get it. They just think,
like I thought, well, what about the actual point in which a client buys something?
Listen,
Does that
man,
Matter?
Listen,
And for
everything in this
them-
world runs on KPIs.
For them, all they cared about is getting them way up here, and for those who
And
can't
that's how they
see
got
me,
paid.
can they see you?
For those who can't see me,
Are we
they
recording?
can't see me that I'm
now
having
we're
my
recording.
hands way up high.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Like Moses, right? They can't see that I'm saying we should be coming down here where the actual transaction
Right.
happens.
Get down
No,
into the dirty details of where, so this is interesting. I think bringing the transaction closer to the point of decision is huge. So people actually make decisions to buy things well before they make a transaction, often before they make a transaction. They'll see a trend on TikTok and be like, I need that thing that's trending, or I need that thing that's empowering that trend. And at that moment, they have actually in their minds, in like mental space, have said, I am going to buy something related to this. And there's things that can prevent that from happening, but in their minds, transactions happened. And so bringing the actual transaction closer to that point of decision is essential for a lot of brands to actually get them to make a purchase and bringing it to them in a relevant way. And, as we look at like the different modalities in which people purchase now, context is actually collapsing around people all the time. They're purchasing when they're at their kid's sports game, or their race, or they're watching TV, or right after the dog throws up on the carpet in front of them. We have so much less control over when and how people are purchasing than the people have for generations before us. They've built contained shopping experiences that people have to enter into in that physical space, and now everything happens all the time in every way. And actually the modalities within digital are even contained to different softwares or platforms or whatever. And so it's very difficult to control the context in which someone's pushing. So bringing the transaction closer to point of decision is actually really, really important right now, because someone might make a decision to purchase something right before their dog throws up on the carpet, and then they have to go clean it up, and by the time they get back there, probably may or may not have the ability to go research and finalize that point of decision. And so if you have an easy way for them to check out in that moment, then and you serve up something that is relevant to them in their price range related to the trend that they're trying to get into.
In that emotional moment.
In that emotional moment, yes, before their dog throws up, then you have a better chance of bringing them to completion of something that they already made a decision about.
Yeah, I'm just going to say LVP.
Okay, that was worth an applause. Sorry, that was a...
Luxury vinyl flooring.
Oh, yeah.
Will help you with your dog throwing up.
That is true.
It's way easier to clean up than carpet.
There is something I want to add to this, though. This is really important. There is danger in bringing the transaction closer to a point of decision, because sometimes people make decisions to purchase things that they probably shouldn't purchase.
Yeah, well, that's drunk shopping.
Drunk shopping accounts for billions of dollars in spending.
It does.
Right? And sometimes people get caught up in a trend that they don't, it was incepted upon them, and actually in the end they don't really want it. Or they may end up buying something because they don't have time to assess the actual thing that they need. They buy something that's not quite the right fit, when in reality, and then they end up returning that thing and replacing it with something that actually was the right fit. And so there is this concept of providing good friction in the transaction process that is necessary to make sure that people don't over-purchase or under-purchase, and they're actually getting the thing that makes sense for their lives. It's actually good for them. And I think that good friction is anything that can be done by a person to help people make that transaction. Bad friction is anything that's where there's things that are impeding progress of making a purchase, that could be accomplished by a machine or by automation or by a process, and that could be handed over to a process or a machine.
Is this rationale?
Can you go back to? Can you go back to the good friction?
Yes.
Yeah. Just repeat what you said in the good friction.
Yeah, I agree.
So let me give some context here. Sometimes people need a little bit more of a moment to understand what size they should be. This is a really simple example. What size they should purchase from a brand, right? Good friction would be making sure.
I need extra small.
That they.
Medium.
Medium.
Yeah,
is that Yiddish?
That'd be good for you.
Okay, keep going, Brian. Sorry.
So, helping people make a good decision around which size would actually fit them, and giving them measurements and giving them opportunities to give that information over. Now, bad friction might be asking them to repeat all that again.
Yeah, sizing, I understand that was just an example.
It is.
Sizing is, man, we got some opportunity for improvement.
No, but you said something good on. I mean, I like what you said originally on the good friction. I agree. There's this good friction and there's this bad friction.
Right.
So
I'm trying to give you a simple example.
Yeah.
No, I agree. So there's some thought. You're basically instituting some sense of rational
making
thinking.
Sure that they don't just buy something because they experience mimesis, this idea of having models that just...
because in apparel and footwear, it's 30% return rate.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Let's
this is
cut
a
that
problem.
down.
This is a massive problem. Would it be,
Huge problem.
it'd be better to have people buy 10% less, but it cut returns by
100%.
by 20%. So, or down to 20% from 30% or whatever it is.
Here's to my 75th beer tonight.
Amazing. I'm drinking mead because I'm friendly and a little bit snobby.
Hey now.
Oh no, I just don't. I don't drink.
Brian Lange on the show.
I don't do gluten because it makes me feel bad.
No, I'm just kidding. So I like that. That's good friction. I've never heard that term.
Good friction.
That's,
Yeah, I love that.
That's a juicy nugget right there, Brian. That's why you guys are smarter.
No, you're smarter.
No, you're smarter.
You're smarter.
No way.
I feel like we need a
Let's
sound
look
effect
at-
right now.
Hey now, come
So
on.
let's look at. Let's just take 2 minutes to look at good friction. If you don't wanna
Wait, we
go
already
away.
just beat good friction
No,
to death
but
for
I
crying
like
in the
good
night.
friction. Like,
Let me go a little bit deeper here. So
He said he had 10 in him. We're at 19. I love this guy.
I told you 10 actually means 20. If you've ever listened to the Future Commerce podcast,
I have.
that was easy.
So there's
it.
something I'm going to relate here to the term that everyone's tired of right now, but I actually think has a lot of legs, and it's in sort of a mental jail. It's a mental sort of stoppage because it's been used so much, and that is AI. And I'm going to bring up AI to actually go back to good friction. So there was a guy named Norbert Wiener who is considered the father of cybernetics. He wrote in the 1950s on AI and on cybernetics and what's going to happen with machines and software. And if you read his book called The Human Use of Human Beings, he perfectly predicts the evolution of AI. I'm talking to a T. Do you guys remember when Google was trying to have their AI beat a person at the game Go?
I read about this.
Yes.
And I'm in the trough of disillusionment. I'm in the
Around
trough.
AI, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the trough of Delulu, as the kids say. Yeah.
Delulu might be over now, but yes.
Is it?
I think it might be over.
Really?
It's these things happen in 2-week cycles now.
But I was reading about this because AI, just like the internet, has been around actually for way longer than we know, the public, that OpenAI in 2022.
We were talking about there's different sort of styles of AI out there, and there's the AI that everyone put on like Watson and on the Einstein. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Salesforce Einstein. Okay, that was machine learning effectively. Now we're talking about generative AI, which is kind of a new form of AI that's ChatGPT sort of unlocked. They were the first ones to release it, and whether or not it was available or people were working on it before that, it's kind of neither here nor there. We as the public really got access to it through ChatGPT. It is a new evolution in the way that AI functions. So Norbert Wiener's, he perfectly predicted. He even said, Go will be the last game that AI plays in a closed system.
Wow.
And he was right.
In the 50s?
In the 50s.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
In the 50s. He perfectly...
Can we get this Wiener guy on the pod?
Fact check that.
Talk to
Can you
Wiener's.
fact check that,
Talk
please?
to Wiener's people. Get them on. Go ahead, Brian.
Oh, you guys are good. This is fun. So this is the thing. So his whole thesis around AI, because he knew where it was headed, post closed system AI. He said we're going to get to a point where AI is going to be able to take an entire language and convert it in and translate it to another entire language, and then translate that to another entire language, and then translate it back into the original language perfectly.
Wow.
And when you talk about language, this is the most complicated things that humans do. It is language. Language it has the most permutations and the most potential expression in terms of computational data. It's got the most opportunity for change, and because of idioms, because of all the small little things and little exceptions and rules and so on.
Yeah.
And so we're getting close. But here's his thesis. We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Please put up your. We're landing soon. Please put up your.
Here's
Keep your
his
seatbelt
thesis.
Yeah, take your seatbelt on.
Go,
His
Brian.
thesis was so there are some things, we need to classify all interactions. There are some things that should be human to human. There are some things that should be human to machine, and there are some things that should be machine to machine. And if you could start to think about your business this way, if you could start to classify the things that make you uniquely human as a business, that is where the good friction exists. There are things that you're going to need human to computer interactions on that are necessary for computers to interact with humans and get the information out of the things that should be computer to computer, machine to machine interactions. The problem is almost every business in the world right now has mixed all this up. And they haven't properly classified where these things fit. And that right there is the future of commerce.
Yes. Yes.
I might have
Yes.
gone over 20 minutes.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Say, I do want to say that this was completely unscripted, and Brian came in and just winged it. And
Yeah, we had
nailed
no
it.
topic.
He
and,
nailed it.
And he absolutely got thought-provoking. My mind actually is hurting a little bit. I've got a small cramp in my left lobe.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and my left
Sorry.
calf.
No,
Lobe for
don't
you,
be
calf for
sorry.
me.
Don't be sorry at all.
Yeah, that's
it's
awesome.
that's
Thank you.
actually phenomenal. It's great shit to think about it this way. This is what Future Commerce does. This is what the content you guys produce.
Thank
when
you.
I read your stuff, it makes me think.
That's the goal. That's
And
the goal.
I think it's interesting. And we don't know where the future lies, and we can't predict all everything, but I love trying. It's love to understand and position yourself.
It is. It is fun. And if there are some things, if anyone ever wants to go look back at our back catalog, there's some stuff in there,
Some-
and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh,
Some
like,
deep shit.
Yeah. Oh, dude. There's an article I wrote in 2017 that just you wait. Like there's a few things that are already coming true out of it, like AI agents that Salesforce has been banging on about. I wrote about in 2017. So if you wanna have some fun, go back and look at our really old stuff. Some of it's really bad. I mean, we weren't as good at audio back then. I was not an audiophile when I came into this. Philip was like, man, we got to get you a better mic. It might be a little pain, but I was not as good at talking as I am now.
We love
But
having
I do
you.
like to think. Thank you
This
for
has
having me.
been
It's been fun.
so fun to be hanging out. We got all the stars here. It's just been
Shoot.
awesome, man.
It's been a good event, man. Shopware brings people together.
Brian Lange from Future Commerce.
Heyo.
Here at Shoptober, brought to you by
Shopware.
Fresh.
That might be catching on. I'm not sure. Brian, thank you so much
Yeah,
for
Thank you,
coming
guys.
on.
Thanks for
Brian.
having me.
I will
That's
talk to you later.
So good.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to Shoptoberfest, where the future shines bright. Sponsored by Shopware, where wisdom takes flight. Brian Lange, Future Commerce, with ideas to explore. Where the culture needs transactions, see what's in store through digital forward thinking. Trends come alive, commerce thriving. It's a wild ride. Get ready for insights that'll expand your mind. As Brent and Brian guide you through the commerce grind. From good friction to AI, we're in the future lane. Shoptoberfest, there's always something gained. Through the halls of innovation we rise. Feel the pulse of commerce skies.
Talk Commerce is a production of Content Basis, LLC. For more creative content, go to contentbasis.io.